now.
Absolutely. Good morning, Jade. How are you this morning?
I was just saying I'm emotionally great, but I've still got that migraine and a winky eye. So if I'm winking at you people, you just need to choose where it's appropriate, where it's not appropriate.
And some people should make that decision for themselves.
Yeah, run a filter over
it. So it looks like we're going to have an awesome day here today. The sun is out, the clouds are clearing, and very, very shortly, the sunrise is going to pop over the clouds on the horizon. So it's nice to be back outside again.
Nice. Yeah.
We had an epic storm last night, though.
Yeah, I woke up to a bit of a storm last night. And I listened to rain and thunder with my binaural beats at night. And then all of a sudden it got really loud. I was like, what happened? And then realized it was all beautiful lightning throughout the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I think we had probably 15 minutes of hail here yesterday afternoon.
Do you know what? I dreamt there was hail. I wonder if there was really hail. No shit, I was dreaming about hail. I wonder if there was actual hail out there. Oh my gosh, that's too much.
So we are in Friday of week 6. So
the final Friday
on the downhill to the top.
You.
And we have spoken this week about, moving into next week, transitioning into next week, taking the bumpers off and all of that sort of stuff. And it's really important to be planning for that so that we don't just get to Monday and go, oh, which way is up now? How do I do this again?
I sat down yesterday. I'm really thinking about 12 weeks tough. There's some permissions that are coming with it, but really setting down. I've 2 full non-wild fit meals a week. If people are watching on the streams, we can't see the chat today because we're coming out via Zoom because Restream is being a bitch. But I was thinking that on the weekends that we have the kids and the Thursdays that we have the kids, no alcohol at all. So keep rolling that through to model for them. Keeping my 2 exercises, keeping my pages. So I texted to my mate yesterday because she was like, does Taco Tuesday start again next week? Is Taco Tuesday starting again next week? She's like, fucking hell, woman. I'm like, yes. Look, you are right here in my schedule.
And it's called Taco Tuesday.
It's called Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. You can build tacos that are wild fit friendly.
Yeah, but we go on tour, so we go to all different taco places around us, and we did that for 2 years. So it's very hard to have wild fit tacos when I go to establishments.
Espresso martinis kind of throw it out the window.
Oh wait, I'm not going to be allowed to go anywhere.
That's a good point. Can't go anywhere yet anyway. So you can do Taco Tuesday in a wild fit way because you can make them. It's easy.
I know. I do taco bowls. I love my crispy shells, but as I said, it's non-wild fit to have corn, but I've got shells that are no nasties and they're amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't eat. Yeah, and that's the only naughty thing in it for me.
And so it is important that everyone starts thinking about, next week. What is the? I don't want to call it cheat days, but what are the days where you might relax a little bit? But what are the days that you're not going to?
Yeah. So I don't like the word cheat days because it's kind of got that negative connotation to it. I think it's more around you're choosing your systems for living. You're choosing how you're going to live and what your bumpers are or what your permissions are and what works for you. And I think that when we call it a cheat meal, and I feel like you're Jones for it a little bit more. That, do you know what I mean? Because it feels like it's something that you can't have and you're only allowed to have it, then it's kind of, that push-pull. Whereas I think when it's a reward. Rather than it being just a chosen, these are the permissions. It feels more like a choice. These are the days I choose to do this.
Yep, definitely. definitely. And we were just talking as well about making sure that the family group and everyone around you is supportive, I guess, somewhat, and understanding what's going on. And we spoke about this the other day. Don't just rock up and start changing your life, but also as you roll into the bumpers off, so to speak, what support are you going to get from your family as well?
Yeah. So this is a concept that I've been playing with for a while, and because I'm relatively new to my family unit, I've been drip feeding it, because you don't want to shock factor people too much, especially when kids come from they're in two households every week, like our kids, and so abrupt changes can be a bit shocking. Same as like employees. Like if we've had a certain culture in a business, if we just make a snap change and it's a real shocking change, it can be a bit much for people to take on board, especially if they're not as growth minded as us, and especially if their profile types are more of your like considered, like either your tempos and your steels. It's a lot easier for a creator blaze, dynamo blaze person to just pivot. And so you don't want a shock factor. And we've kind of been easing in with what we're doing. But this concept I've been playing with in my mind is running like a workshop, like our intensives, Kyle, but for a family unit or a household unit, like same as like if you're, say, house sharing, co-living, that sort of stuff, but running a workshop where everyone comes together and goes, okay, what's the culture that we want to build for our house? It's like, what do we want to have as how we live? What's the DNA of living here? And asking everyone about their values and virtues, and coming up with a household set that has those like guidelines in terms of what's not acceptable, what is acceptable, and a conversation around that, so that people know how to treat each other. And so there's kind of like a way, otherwise you end up with people being pissed off, or someone does something like do as I say, not as I do. And there's no real curation. And I think especially if we do this to children as adults and we set the rules, because these sometimes values can be seen as like to kids as rules if they're not enrolled in it. Like for me, we don't do sugar in our household. Like I just fundamentally don't believe in poisoning children, but that's a hard conversation to have with the kids. Like they're allowed to have it everywhere else. So, and my friend got to have 2 liters of milk and a whole thing of Milo the other night. And I'm like, they resisted the urge to say maybe their parents don't care about them. I was like, well, some people aren't educated, and you never know, that could have been a one-off. But do you know what I mean? Like, whereas if we can have that enrollment over them and give them some autonomy and contribution and creativity, there's going to be a lot more uptake. And you can then start to really look at how can you thrive as a household unit, whether that be blood family or who you live with. And I just, this is something that I want to sort of explore over the next 12 months, because I see it a lot with my clients. Like a lot of my clients and their staff, like they're evolving and they're starting to do these things, and they're starting to have ideal week planners, and they're starting to think about, the food that they feed themselves and how that affects them at work. But then they're saying, just by nature, a lot of my client base is male teams and males, like their wives are like, do you mean that? I think we talked about yesterday, that fear factor is like, what's she look like?
What's going on?
Why are we losing weight?
Is she pretty? And
it's nothing to do with that. It was all about the peak performance of the brain.
Yep. I sort of did this with the kids at the beginning of this year, where we laid out on a wall in the kitchen. I painted it with whiteboard paint so that we drew up, and we've got I spoke with the kids about screen time and bedtime and exercise and outside time and all the things that we're doing now, and creating those habits. And they created their own habit tracker out of that, and the things that they wanted, so that they could be the people they wanted to be. And that was a conversation that we had where, particularly with Kobe, it was, Kobe has worked really, really hard on his soccer this year, and has, he's come ahead in leaps and bounds. And the reason that he goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night, or it's actually 8:08 because his birth year was 2008. So
that's so cute.
I think now we've got to give him more. I don't know. So
8:38.
He chose that because he wants to be able to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and exercise and work on his soccer stuff. So and same with the screen time. Well, what's a good amount of screen time? What's a healthy amount? And they chose 90 minutes a day as a goal. Even though 2 hours, anywhere between 1 and 2 hours is the recommended. So we actually went through all of those things and they chose it. And now each week what we do is they plan out the meals for the week, or for the next week that they come back to me. So we go through and we plan the whole week out, and we talk about why we can't have chicken schnitzel every night of the week, even though Kirili would love to have chicken schnitzel every night of the week.
I think Frankie would be right there on that train.
And while that causes friction at times,
lamb chops.
And we come up with a relatively healthy set of meals for them for the week. And even sometimes that's different to what I'm having, but they still have the choice in it.
Oh, I have to share. Kyle, do your kids like butter chicken?
Butter chicken.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty much wild fit. I should get shares in this company. If you see this brand, it's amazing. It's so great cold. It does have coconut sugar in it, but that's the only naughty. We tried all sorts of, the kids loved butter chicken. Trying to find one that wasn't absolutely full of crap was so hard.
Nice.
That is amazing.
Very good. Very good. So I think that's it for our Friday, everyone. Have a think about the conversations you should be having with your family and the planning that you might start. Keep it small, take small steps as you ease them in, particularly kiddies. Kiddies don't like change very quickly. So just ease them into, maybe just a bedtime or a screen time or an exercise, whatever it is, but ease them into it. And you'll be amazed at how little steps make a big difference, even in your family.
Yeah, family and household.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, this is Friday, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. We will be back on at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and if you want to catch Jade and I, you can catch us from 2:30 this afternoon on Jade's Facebook and LinkedIn, as we talk about the hard thing about hard things today. Yes, totally relevant for this program as well. Totally relevant. Awesome. Have guys. An awesome day, everyone. Bye.